Hey everybody, I'm Rick Janson over here at eXp Realty, and I am so excited today to have on the Top Cloud Agents interview David Kurz from Miami. Made big splash nationally when he moved his firm over to eXp. Yes, you did. And I just wanted to dive in a little bit as to the why and the how. But first, for those who might not know who you are, give us just kind of a little elevator pitch on David Kurz and Kurz Realty.
Man, elevator pitch. Been in the business for about 15 years now. After 9 years of service in the United States Marine Corps, my cousin was in the mortgage industry when I got out the Marine Corps, and I told her I didn't know what to do. And she said, Dave, you've always been good at one thing, talking. And so she said, jump into the real estate industry. You're going to absolutely love it. And she was in mortgages. I said, why not mortgages? She goes, no. Excel spreadsheets, no talking. You need to go out there and talk to people. I said, okay, great. That over the last 15 years has extended to me running one of the top teams at Douglas Elliman in Miami, to then opening my own brokerage for the last 3 years, growing to almost 200 agents with a couple $100 million in sales, to now transferring all of that and merging it into eXp. I also run the RealTalk conference here in Miami, a huge conference. We had 400 attendees a couple months ago, and we're hoping to grow that, more and more each year. So I've written 2 books. I'm working on my 3rd book now, which is going to be, I think, in my opinion, a little bit of a disruptor. So, but if you join a disrupting company, you write a disruptor book. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, your independent brokerage was a little bit bigger than mine, right? But I see we're both wearing our old logo with the new logo on our shirt, right? So,
hey, look, I couldn't get rid of it.
Well, talk for a second to the independent broker who's like totally ego invested in their own brand. They're like, man, I've built this. I know I can do better. I'm the upstart. I'm the underdog. I'm proud of what I've done. I mean, you were there. How do you make that shift mentally?
Man, I think you asked that question the most fantastic way, which is ego. Ego was in my way for a long time. And honestly, and it's not a bad ego thing. I'm not referring to ego as a negative connotation. I think what I mean is ego and the fact that you've put so much blood, sweat, and tears into something. And it's a very difficult thing to say, you know what, I'm going to shut this down and I'm going to go eXp, or anything for that matter, right? And look, we were offered 7-figure check to sell our company at one point. We turned it down simply because after taxes and partners and everything else, it just wouldn't have made sense. It was a short-term happiness, but not a long-term situation for us. With eXp, there was no buyout, but I could see the long-term effect this company would have. And when I talked to an independent broker out there looking at this, going, "Why in the hell would you do this?" It's very, very simple. Write down all the things, take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. Write down all the things you love about being a broker on one side and all the things you hate about being a broker on the other side. Then give everything you hate to eXp and keep doing what you love. And that's what happened to me, right? Like I sat down, I realized no one writes lawsuits in the things I love about being a broker, right? No one writes ethics meetings and the things I love about being a broker, right? So like when you think about the negative stuff, the liabilities, if I could remove all the liability from any situation, not just owning a brokerage, if I could remove the liability from any situation, how much more successful would I be at it, right? If I could bungee jump knowing for a fact that there's no way I can crack my skull on the floor, how much more effective would I be off jumping off the ledge? And that's kind of just what ended up happening to us. We realized that I could do all the things I love, which is, I coach. I don't coach a lot of students. I coach 5 at a time. So my space is limited and I enjoy that. So that translates into, I used to coach all my agents, right? Like in classes and training and teaching. I get to still do that. I used to one-on-one with my agents and help them grow their businesses and careers. I get to still do that. Growth. I love growth. I want to have I'm looking forward to the day that we have 1,000 people at our holiday party, right? I could still do that. None of that has been taken away from me. The only thing that's changed is that I don't carry any of the liability, so I have more time to have fun.
That's
Really.
fantastic. And you get to keep doing what you love to do. And I
Yeah.
hear that you love investing in people, you love coaching people. Now, I also heard exit strategy mentioned. And when I was an independent broker for 15, 16 years, my exit strategy was sell real estate when I'm 70, right? Now
That's
you had a
crazy, right?
you were offered 7-figure check. Is that common for a brokerage?
Probably not. We
Yeah.
had just grown so quickly and so strongly over a short period of time that I think this company looked at us and said, this guy in the next 5 years is going to be serious competition. And so
So
let's walk
I
them
think
out now.
it's probably safe to say that's probably top 5% of what a brokerage is worth, right?
Right.
I
It
mean,
really is.
most brokerages are probably worth a couple 100,000.
Right. I think for us, it was just like foresight. Like people were looking and going, let's get them out of the way before it gets too strong.
Yeah.
Right. And man, compliment on my part,
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think most brokers have an exit strategy, right? Even if
Well,
they
most
have it,
brokers don't grow that big that quick.
right.
Most brokers are, 3 years in with 50 agents. Most brokers don't grow that quickly. They don't do that fast. And so, they're still like 3, 4, 5 years in, hoping that they can be in the black, and they're selling real estate to subside their brokerage and continue to grow their brokerage. There are very few brokerages, and I could name a few right off the bat that are doing a great thing in under 5 years. They're just blowing up like crazy. And that's amazing. God bless them, like let them keep doing what they do. And we did it. I just prefer not to carry the liabilities. Like I prefer to do what I enjoy to do, which is like you said, invest in people and invest in our growth. And right now, I put myself in a position where I get to tell all the agents that came with me from Kurz Real Estate into eXp Realty, I get to look at them all and say, all you guys get to do the same thing that I do. You get to grow. You get to hire people. You get to put them under. You get to earn a residual. You get, all the fun stuff that all the fun parts of being a broker without having to go be a broker. And I think that that's the biggest piece,
Now, your top producers at Kurz Real Estate were likely qualified to go start their own brokerage, but they were loyal to you. They had a good thing going, but now they kind of have their wings under you. Tell me about their response to moving to eXp.
Man, I could tell you that I feel truly, 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 truly blessed because they were the first people I spoke to.
Yeah.
Right. When we did the transition, the first thing we did was talk to our top 10% agents, top 1%, then 10%, then 20%. We went our way down. And man, I got to tell you, like 1 or 2 agents that were like, I'm not sure, I don't know, that were top producers. And then eventually said, okay, Dave, let's do this. And more so because they just needed to truly understand it. They I don't want to say overthought it, but they were really analyzing it, right?
Sure.
But all of our top producers, knock on wood, have moved over with us. Our top 10%, top 20%, top 30%. As a matter of fact, I could tell you wholeheartedly, at least our top 48 to 55% of agents moved over with us.
That's awesome.
And so that literally means the top half of our brokerage, like the part that keeps it all together, came over with us to eXp. And that's huge.
That is huge. Now, and they're excited about the opportunity, I imagine, right? Because
They're excited about the opportunity. Not only that, I'm helping them, right? Yeah. So they come to me, they're like, Dave, I got this guy. Good, let's go talk to him, right? Or I recruit somebody on my own and I look at them and I go, hey, I'm going to put you with, one of my top guys. And we do that because we want to, the one thing I love about this company is the collaboration that we have on a nationwide level. So imagine what it looks like on a local level,
Right. And yeah, and you have a base to grow, right? You have right. that firm. You had what, 200 agents?
We had 197.
197. Now I'm off by a couple. Yeah. That's amazing though. So you represent basically what every little independent broker is trying to be. 197 right. agents in the black in under 5 years and just 3 years. like known for selling luxury real estate all throughout Miami. You achieved what all of us wanted to achieve, and now you moved. So if we want what you've got, we've got to do what you do and move to eXp.
And man, let me tell you, I got the calls, man. Other broker owners that are friends of mine, they were like, "What in the hell? You know, like, what did you do, Dave? You're crazy." I had somebody tell me the other day, who's a prominent broker here. He looked at me. He said, "Dave, you know what I've always appreciated about you?" He said, "We've always been competition, but you always knew how to fail fast." And I don't know that I agree with the statement. So I asked him, I go, "What do you mean by that?" And he says, "You see things ahead of time and you make the adjustments necessary." And I said, "Man, okay, I appreciate your comment. You know, I really do, because look, I don't believe in failure. And I know that there's a lot of stuff out there that says fail forward and all this other BS. I don't believe in failure. I believe the only way you fail is if something wrong happens and you crawl into a corner and die. Like literally, that's the only way to fail. You just stop movement. But if you continue movement, you continue to move forward, then it's impossible to call it a failure. You know, Webster Dictionary, that sucker. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't equate. And I'm sick of a world that tells people it's okay to fail because you'll learn from it.
Yeah.
You know, and actually that's what my third book's about, but we won't get into that because I want to
All
save
right,
that.
fair enough. Fair enough. So now, so a lot of brokers have brick and mortar. They have teams. They have splits. Can they keep all that when they move to eXp, or how did you? I mean, your situation is the way you handled it. Other people handle it differently, but did you keep everything in place? Did you put everybody under a team? Like what? How did that like
I think,
logistically happen?
yeah, like you said, everybody handles it differently. Um, Everyone at my brokerage came over, and the way that we positioned it was, if you referred this person to our company as Kurz Real Estate, they went under you and your downline. I didn't take everybody and put them in my first line, right? I built my first line to a number that I was comfortable with, and then everyone else went under that. And we puzzled it accordingly based on who brought who over, what was happening new, what's, you know, things of that nature. We kept all three of our offices. We have one in Coconut Grove, which is basically central East Miami. We have one in Miami Lakes, which is northwest Miami, and we have one in Fort Lauderdale. We kept all three of them on our own dime. Happy to do so, to allow agents to have a place to congregate. And not only did we keep our offices, but we opened it up to any eXp agent, whether they're in our downline or not.
Nice.
Which I think is important, because if we're going to be in this to collaborate, then we all need to be together, working together. Did we need to keep the offices? Absolutely not. We didn't need to. And I know a lot of people who have closed down their offices and not dealt with that overhead. We just figured out a way to maintain the overhead accordingly, and we're doing well with it.
Nice. That's a great idea. Yeah. And I love that, like, you just immediately are part of that collaborative culture of eXp. Like, prior to this call, we've never met. And yet here
Right.
you are saying, "Hey, Rick, I don't know you, but if I can help you out, I'm here for you."
Anyway, and I believe in that. I almost blindly believe in that, to a point where I've been burned before, you know, where you help somebody and then they talk about you behind your back and everything. Like, I've been burned before because I blindly believe in collaboration. And I am one of those true wholehearted believers that if we all collaborated, what a heck of a shift, right? Think about this company. This company went in the last 4.5 years from 800 plus agents to 25,000 plus agents. That doesn't just happen because it's a cool thing to do. It happened because we all collaborated and found a way to make it happen, right? And so, like, when Kevin came to talk to me, and then Gene came to talk to me, and Dave came to talk to me, and, like, you know, and I was able to reach out to people. I spoke to Mike, and I spoke to Veronica, and I spoke to all these people in the company, and you know, I even spoke to Tim, you know, and we had a great 45-minute conversation one day, and he was like, "Dude, just freaking do it." You know, like, you gotta do it. And the crazy part is, like, I'm nowhere in his financial downline, like, but he was open to have that communication, that call with me. And I think over the time that I was doing all this research, the one thing that fired off quick was, regardless of who was going to benefit or not benefit, it didn't matter. And that was insane. That was great to me. You
Yeah,
know, they were always willing to help.
that is awesome. I love that about that. I
So
mean,
how, how
people think
cold
when,
is it? How cold is it in Denver right now?
today it warmed up to 50, so it's
Woo!
balmy. I mean,
You
Thanksgiving it
guys,
was like 19 degrees, but
you
it's
guys are
sweet.
outside in like shorts and t-shirts right now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
In Miami, if it was 50 degrees, we'd be in Uggs and button downs and with like fur coats on.
Yeah, now you mentioned like, one of the things that about this collaboration is I thought like going into the cloud, not having an office, I was going to be isolated. But I realized I was isolated for the past 16 years in my office. But now in the cloud, I'm connected more than anybody, more than I've ever been.
I agree with you.
Talk to the connections you've made just in the past month or two.
You know, I feel like I went to Jay Kinder's mastermind a couple months ago or a month ago in Key West. Being in the cloud, I've been able to connect with a bunch of people. Being in workplace, I've been able to connect with a lot of people. I've received referrals already. Um, when we were Kurz Real Estate, we were pigeonholed to where we were. We're literally like, it was Miami, Miami, Miami. And over the last 3 years, I made it a point to travel, to meet amazing people in Minnesota, California, New York, Texas. Like I made it a point to travel because I said, man, we're pigeonholed in here and this is all we know. I need to go see what the rest of the nation is doing, what everybody else is doing. Now I can just pop in. I'm literally going to read a text message that I got a little while ago. One of my agents wrote to me. She said, good news, closing on my first eXp referral on January 3rd, under contract in 12 hours, and have 2 more eXp referral listings after the holidays. We've been in for 40 days, right? So this girl right here, she's closing 3 deals over the next month or two with the company under 90 days. Come on, like, and you know why that is? We sat down and have a conversation one day and she said, how do I get the exposure? I said, get into workplace, expose yourself to people, communicate with people, pay attention to what's going on, pay attention to the people looking for referrals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Build those relationships. Offer your assistance to people. Like she's a seasoned agent, so she's solid, and here she is, killing it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, you also mentioned a conference you're putting on. I can't remember the name of it right off the bat, but I just want to give a little airtime to that and talk to us about that. It seems like it's really on your heart.
Man, I appreciate that. The Real Talk conference came alive because number one, there's no real big conferences in Miami except for the ones that are local to Miami. Like whatever our association puts together, they do a great job at that. But I wanted to open up something that became kind of like the Inman for Miami, right? And so the first year we had about 350 people. This year we have 400 people. And it's really near and dear to my heart. We had the first year we did a 1-day conference. We had 20 plus speakers. We finished the day with the Altman brothers, came down and spoke on our behalf, which was amazing. This year we made it a 2-day conference, which we're going to go back to 1 day because we found it more effective. But this year we made it a 2-day conference. Again, 20 plus speakers, everyone you can imagine, some of the top people in social media, luxury real estate, team development, brokerage development. I mean, you name some of the top brokers that have, 600 plus agents doing billions in sales, like teams doing 400 or 500 millions in sales. Like we had so many amazing people on the stage. We had Grant Wise on the stage, who's a social media like guru. We had the owner of Wailopo on the stage. We had, just consistent. We had Chris Bear was on the stage with us for a little while, and one of the panels with eXp, and just first of all, that was where we did our announcement, but we'll talk about that later. And then we finished off this year with Terrell Owens, big TO, Dallas Cowboys, and next year we're pushing the envelope. We're going to go back to 1 year, or 1 day, but we're going to have breakaways in luxury. We're going to have breakaways in team development. We're going to have breakaways in office management. Like we just want to make it better and better and better every year, so that we feel like we're doing our part in the real estate community and doing our part in providing enough value to where agents walk away and they go, shit, I got to put this together. This is changing my life. That's like literally all I want to hear, you know? And I don't sell anything from the stage. I'm not selling coaching. I don't need, you know, I don't care if you're in my downline or not. Like, none of that matters to me. Like, for me, it's about, can you be present? Can you absorb? And can you be a testament to what it is? And you know, and over the last 2 years, it's been great. Like, people message me, Dave, this changed, that changed. You know, I'm having a great time, or I'm doing this, or I met with, you know, the owner of Wailopo, and I'm using his Raya program. You know, just so much cool stuff, and it's really near and dear to my heart. So this year, or 2020, we're going October 15th, 1-day conference. Would be amazing. I'm going to have special deals for eXp agents. So if you're an eXp agent, chances are it'll be 50% off. Just putting that out there, and we'll rock it out.
So what's the name of the conference again?
The Real Talk Conference. The website's RealTalkCon.com.
RealTalkCon.com.
So the idea behind the name, so you know, was the idea that we would put people on the stage that were actually putting in the work, not just people who say they know what they're talking about, but people who can actually say, this is what I'm doing on a real daily basis. Therefore, it's real talk.
Yeah, nice. But now, before we go, because I know your time is really valuable, before we go, one thing everybody's going to want to know is, how do you generate leads? Everybody always asks, how do you generate leads? So what's the Kurz Realty eXp approach to generating leads? Like, what's your silver bullet?
So look, we have different approaches. My team now, we're 8 strong. We focus, we use Boomtown, and we're starting to implement KV Core. And we do use a lot of Facebook. We do use a lot of social media. We do SEO and Google, you know, ads. That's our silver bullet. That's where we focus. And then the flip side to that focus is we stay consistent through massive and savage follow-up with everyone we've ever worked with and everyone we know. So our sphere of influence and past clients, we have a savage follow-up program for that. And I mean, I don't care what business, man. The reason that we use Facebook, SEO, Google, and all that stuff is to create new people that we can close, that we can create savage follow-up on, so we can keep growing. It's the only reason. I could turn all that off and still live a good life just by the savage follow-up on the people we know.
And I imagine the savage follow-up is not automated emails. It's not a newsletter.
Now, there's so much involved. We have text messages, emails. We do selfie video emails. We do selfie video text messages. We do automation through Raya. It's just so much that people, like, some people will yell at us on the phone, but can you please leave me alone? Not until you buy a house. Talk to you next month. You know? You know, so, and listen, we have to be ridiculous like that. We have to. I mean, I had a guy from the Miami Dolphins that would message me 7 times a day, taking pictures of the seats and trying to sell me season tickets. And I got so frustrated with him that I text him back and I go, I will pay for your real estate license if you can work for me. Like, you will get people in the houses. And I asked him, how much do you, if I buy these season tickets right now, how much do you make? He said $200. I started laughing. I said, man, I will pay for your real estate license. Just get over here.
Yeah, to go from $200 a sale to 3% of sales, a big swing.
Especially in Miami, this guy can making $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a pop. Crazy.
Now, if we established how to get in touch with you about the Real Talk conference, whether someone wants to be a speaker or attend it. How does someone get in touch with you if they want to buy a property in Miami, or if they want to explore eXp some more? How do they get in touch with you?
Couple different ways. David Adam Kurz is what you should remember. David Adam Kurz. I'm on all social media at David Adam Kurz. My website is davidadamkurz.com. And you can call me 786-299-2532. Again, 786-299-2532. That's my personal cell phone number.
You got to love that. I mean, here's David Adam Kurz giving you his personal cell phone number, throwing it out on the internet, throwing it out on this video. He's just like, I'm an open book. Call me. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to talk to you. I'm happy to help you buy and sell real estate, or just discuss your options, or just shoot the breeze. So, hey, David, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me on your show. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.